There were 13, correct? I think so.
Yes,
Thanks.
13. Mm-hmm.
Should I just get started there, Professor Miller?
Sure, why not? Looks
All
like
right.
we're mostly.
Looks like there's only a couple missing anyway.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Okay. All right. So, welcome to Artsonia. Before you all start saying I'm not an artist, I am here to tell you that you are. Anyone can perform art. It is, or can create art. It is all about creativity and imagination. It has nothing to do with talent, as far as I'm concerned. My students, they come in very intimidated and into my room, and I always try to calm them down and tell them, listen, if you can draw a shape and you can draw a line, then you can create art. If you have an imagination, if you have creativity, you can create art. All of these things, and I always tell them too, if you're no matter what you're going into in your profession later on in life, you have to be able to imagine and create. So this is one of the reasons I think art is so important. Art also is important for expressing oneself and creating individuality, um, self-expression, confidence, self-esteem. All of these things really contribute from art. So what I'd like to do, hopefully you all got a chance to take a look at the video. It is at the bottom of the screen here, the Artsonia. This is the home screen of artsonia.com. The video explains, let me just move it down here. It's further down right here. I'm not going to play the video. It's very quick. It's a minute 21. If you get a chance, take a look at it. But it's basically everything that I'm going to explain to you right now. So let me go ahead and do that. First of all, let me give you a little history. I teach in Torrington, and I started at Torringford School. It's a K through 5 school. Thanks, Erica. It's a K through 5 school, and basically, I had a dilemma. When I started, I found that when I did my art shows, not all of the parents could make it. Surprise, surprise. And I wanted them to be able to see everyone's artwork. So I did some research, and after a few months or so of looking and trying some different things, I found Artsonia. And I was thrilled because it not only became something like it was a museum for parents, but it became a worldwide museum for their aunts, their uncles, that people that don't even live in the state. So it was actually was a really, really nice museum, a nice little online tool. I went from Torringford School, and then I moved to a couple of other schools, and I brought Artsonia with me. And every time I did, more and more parents were asking, are you going to start Artsonia? Are you going to start Artsonia? They absolutely loved it. So what I'm going to do is go to, I'm just going to type in actually, and anybody, by the way, does anybody here have artsonia in their school system? Just out of curiosity.
I think I bought something. Like I bought a keychain or something. I like it was on a template, but I don't know if it was artsonia.
Okay, well, it could be. And I'm going to show you a spot when I get into my teacher site where you can, anybody can buy materials with the artwork on it, like T-shirts and things like that. So it could be. Check the keychain. It usually says artsonia right on it. I know that there are a lot of school systems that do have it. You should, if you do work at a school system, talk to your art teacher and ask them, or better yet, you can encourage them to join once you see this. Okay, so let me move along here, and I'm just going to type in the zip code. What 06790 is Torrington. Okay, so here I'm going to move my participants out of the way. Here's all the schools. So up here is Torringford. That's where I started. And then moving down is Southwest, Vogel, and then Forbes. Now, I am in the middle school now, so I have not started it yet in the middle school because this is my first year in the middle school, and I kind of wanted to get my feet wet a little bit before I started something like this there. So I'm going to show you my old school, which is Forbes Elementary School. And when I click on here, you can see that there's right away school activity. You can see what I have done in the past, how many artworks that I actually put in. And I did teach the kids how to do it as well, and you can teach the kids how to do it on the little Chromebooks. They can take pictures of the artwork themselves. I actually had a whole class do it at one time. It was kind of neat. And they were all uploading their own artwork, and then they were making statements, artist statements. So it ties in with literacy. It ties in with technology. The comments right here are from parents, from guardians, from people across the country, and not necessarily people they don't know. It has to be somebody they do know because parents have to okay who joins a student's fan club, and I'm going to show you that in just a minute. But then you have the artist statements, and I did this. I have 93 statements because what I did was I made it one of my goals, my yearly goals, to have the students write about their work. So I was tying in that literacy part of it, and it was actually a lot of fun to do because they were able to use the art vocabulary, which is what I was after. I wanted to see them using it in a sentence instead of saying, "Oh, I drew this picture." They would say stuff like, "I use shapes and lines to create this, composition." So it was a lot more involved. It was kind of nice. So let me go down. This is now my. Let me move this out of the way. Oops. There's that participants list getting in my way again. Okay. So down here I have my gallery. And each student, I'll just throw this one on. This was second grade, I believe. Nope, grade 4. Sorry, grade 4. And what I was able to do up here is I wrote about the project so that parents, when they came in, or anybody when they came in, they were able to see a brief description about what we did in class. So I actually think that's better than going to an art show because I was able to reach every parent that way. If I go down to, let's go to Charisma. She's the first one. So if I go down to her work and I click on, now she has a beautiful portfolio that I started with her. And if you look over here, this is her fan club. This is what I was talking about earlier. So what will happen is parents will get a letter from me, an email, stating that her artwork is in, and then they will join the fan club. And they are in charge of her now. So whoever wants to join her fan club after that has to go through the parents. And you'll also notice that Charisma's name does not have a last name, so it's very private. Artsonia doesn't believe in putting up last names. They just put the first name, and then they put a little number after it. Down here, this is her entire portfolio from kindergarten on. So, I could just click onto that one, for instance. And that was something that we did. I think that was another 4th grade project. I don't remember if I did that in 4th grade that year. But the whole portfolio saves, and this is here forever forever. So it's kind of nice, and it's excellent for parents, and I'm going to get into that part of it later. But if you go up here, right here, this is what Melissa was talking about. Thanks, Melissa. She was talking about keychains. Now, if you go on here, this is the whole gallery, and you can order, and anyone can order, anyone that's in her fan club can order things with her artwork on it now. And what I loved about this, personally, as the art teacher, I love the fact that I got 20% of it. Anything that these relatives bought, and it was a big hit around Mother's Day and Christmas and all the holidays, I would rake in the bucks for my program. I mean, I would think by the end of the year, I usually made about $400. And I was able to buy some materials, and I actually bought a camera one year. So that's an excellent little piece for the art teacher. And then if I go back, and we'll go to, any questions so far? I'll move this down. I would have spent a fortune. That's awesome. Aw, yeah, I did spend a fortune, trust me, on my kids, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. Okay, so that is basically, oh, and by the way, that's there. This is the whole portfolio for the child. And then for the teacher, you can put on your own lesson plans, and teachers from around the country can share lesson plans. So if I go here and I just type in lesson plans. Okay, so here are just some people from all over the country and around the world. Like I said, you can go anywhere. And they have lesson plans that you can click on to and check out. So anytime you want to find out a new lesson or get some ideas, this is a great place to go. And all of these, when I was putting in some of my lesson plans, and I can't get into them now, unfortunately, because I don't have that account anymore. But when I was putting in my lesson plans, it was nice because you were able to link to the national standards, which really looked good when I was doing my year-long reviews. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop sharing this page, and I'm going to share my phone. So give me just a moment while I pull that up. Only takes a minute. Okay. Now, this is the part, it's not there yet, I know, it's coming. There we go. All right, this is the part where, when I was talking about the app, the Artsonia app, this is the easiest way to get the artwork uploaded and onto the particular portfolios. And over here, I'll first of all show you, this is my family. That's my Jacob and my Sarah. And if you are a parent, if you are an aunt, an uncle, it doesn't matter who you are, you can do it for yourself. You can start your own portfolio, and this gets all of that artwork. I don't know about any of you, but this gets all of that artwork out of the basement and upstairs and into the computer forever and ever to save. So it's really, really nice. Does anybody have a load of stuff downstairs? I can't wait to start logging my kids' stuff. Yes, believe me. It took me about, I don't know, a couple of days over the summertime at one point, but I'm going to show you how much stuff there's. I'll throw Jacob's on there. 145 pieces I put on for him. And not only did I do artwork, but I was just clicking the screen. Oh my goodness. Not only did I do artwork, but I also did some things like, this is when he was really little. And then if I go down to this little note right here, say for instance, You probably can't read it, but it's a sweet little note from him in his own little handwriting back. Oh my gosh, like in 4th grade. It's adorable. So you don't have to just take pictures of the artwork. I saved everything, as you can see. So, and all the sweet little notes and the little handprints and all that wonderful stuff we gather around as parents, or we save as parents. So now I have it forever, and I can make things out of it if I want. What happens if Artsonia stops supporting the app? It's backed up somewhere. You could back it up. I did not, but I'm sure you can. That's a very good question, Kathleen. I'm going to have to look into that one, because honestly, I don't know. Oops, let me go back and go to the publishing part of it. Okay, so if you're going to publish, this is very easy. You take a new photo, you import from a camera, and I'm going to just take a new photo, and I'll take a photo of what we're doing. Hi. And down below, I just wanted to show you there's some tools that you can edit with, and you could probably figure them out on your own, or you can go to the help screen, and it tells you what everything does. And then once you have that done, you can go on to the next part, and you can edit some more. Edit, 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 black and white, blur, in case there's a name on there that you don't want on there. And if that doesn't work out, you can go to the help screen once again, and it tells you basically everything you need to know. Okay? And that's basically it. And then you hit next, and it'll publish onto, and I don't want to go put publishing it onto one of my kids, but you can, punch one of the one of your students or one of your child's portfolios, and then go ahead and apply it into that specific area. Okay, so that is the app. Hopefully y'all had a chance to take a look or download the app. And that, I'm gonna go quick here, guys. That's basically it. I do have a, let me just grab, I have a exit slip that I would like you to be able to take. And I was going to grab the URL. Hang on just a second, and I'll plop it in. Copy. And I'll put, uh-oh, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Okay. Okay. So let me put this down in the chat. And if you wouldn't mind taking this, I would truly appreciate last one of the evening. All right. You don't have to report back unless Mr. or Professor Miller wants us to report back, or unless you wanted to say something now, Professor.
Yeah. Let me just kind of wrap up here then. I'll borrow Sandy's room for a moment just to finish up for the night. So first of all, sort of a virtual round of applause for everybody that went tonight. Thank you for being willing to go first. That's always a bit of a challenge, I recognize, but thank you all for doing that. Loved what I saw. The types of things that you guys are finding and presenting are exactly the kinds of things that I wanted this project to pull out. So, again, even if you're not a math teacher, knowing that there is an online tool for doing advanced calculator types of work might be useful for you, or might be something that you as a technology leader in your school can make known to other people. So it's not even so much about just you in your classroom, but just building out your library of understanding of what's going on out there. And there were some really great things tonight, and I really enjoyed it. In terms of follow-up from tonight, if you were one of the presenters tonight, hopefully you were recording your session. I was kind of doing a backup recording in case things didn't go well.